All right, we're back. Dynasty Trades in 5. I'm Clay.
I'm Shane Manila. Can someone, just as an aside, figure out how to get the glare off my glasses? Please let me know.
I can't do that.
I actually enjoy the glare on Shane's glasses because I can see what he's pulling up on his screen while
you
we're
can
watching.
see what fetish he's fetish he has. All right, so tonight we're gonna do a show on the 102. So we did a show on the 101. We're gonna do one on the 102, and we're gonna talk about kind of trading around it, or if you want to pull what Shane would do and just draft Malik Willis with the 102. But Scott, you're on the clock at 102. What are you doing? Are you trading it back, taking Malik Willis, taking Kenneth Walker? What are you doing?
We're pre-draft, and so the 102, I think it has a lot of value because it not because I know exactly who to pick. Could be Willis, could be a wide receiver one, like one of the best receivers. Someone could trade up to a great spot. You know, who knows? Green Bay trades up or something like that and takes the wide receiver one. You know what I mean? And then it's a smash pick. Or it could be Kenneth Walker. You know, he could go in the middle of the second. Very good draft capital. So I think the 102 has a lot of value because all you really need is like one really good outcome for the 102 to rise up to much closer to the tier of the 101, where could be 103, could be 104, but I think you need the right things to happen on draft night for people to go, okay, I'm comfortable with a 102 through 104. You know, then all of a sudden your 103s and 104s have a lot more value. So the 102, I think, just gives you options. You don't really need a lot to break your way for that pick to have like really legitimate value. But if you told me to pick right now, I don't really know how to value it. So I'm willing to actually move back for the extra assets. You know, devil's advocate, we could see not a lot go right for everybody except for Breece Hall. And then all of a sudden it's like the normal 102 value is only half of what it's going to be this year. You know, like this year's 102, you're going, damn, you're offering me a 23 first and like a 204. I'm considering almost doing a deal like that. And that's blasphemy with the 102. So I think it offers a lot of flexibility, but you could literally be disappointed in 4 weeks too, when you have your 102s and you're like, man, I should have paid that 24 first to move up to get the 101 because I knew the 101 was going to be a smash. So I think it's just, you got to look at your team. You know, if you can get to the 101 for less than 23 first, I would consider doing it. Otherwise, I'm probably okay with my 102s. It gets a little sketchy though when I'm trading back. I'm sure we'll talk about some trades, but it gets sketchy when I'm thinking about, I think this is going to happen. Like, I think there's going to be a good quarterback. I think there's going to be a great receiver. And then I think there's going to be Kenneth Walker. I'm comfortable trading back to the 104 and only getting back like 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. You can really get burned in a deal like that. So it's a tough valuation. Most years you're going 102. I'm going to get a stud. I may not get the stud, but I'm going to get a stud. And this year you're going to get a good player. Like, you're going to feel okay with what you take, but I think you're also going to feel that you probably left some value on the table by not moving it before the draft.
Shane, this trade's for you, and then let's hear your thoughts on 102. Do you want the 102 or the 107 and 112 in the super flex?
I'm gonna hold out for more and hope that I can do better. I was just thinking while Scott was talking, like if I could trade the 102, assuming it's Willis is on the board, right? I'd probably hope to get to the top 3 wide receivers of this class. I'm not going to do that with 107 and 112. I'm not going to get either, most likely. I'm probably going to end up with a couple good receivers, but I still want the chance to take the top 2. I like when Scott was saying, you know, you have a lot of flexibility with this 102. It's just none of it's good. It's not good flexibility. So whatever the opposite of good flexibility is, that's what you have here. If you can move it before the draft, move it. If you're not going to be able to move it though, like the 102 is almost like an anchor, just a weight around your throat. Nobody wants it. You can relate to that. You have the 102. I've sent you several offers for the 101. I've sent you no offers for the 102. Yep. Very big chasm there.
So you said you were going to hold out for more though, but the 102, you're not really getting offers for it and you don't really like it, but you still wouldn't take the 107 and 112. No, so what if it were the 105 and 112?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. At least I'm getting one of the top 3 wide receivers.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I just made a trade yesterday and I traded away the 102. And it was a 14-team super flex, and I have Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. So the appeal of like the quarterback scarcity is there. So I probably would have said, okay, I'm going to have to take Willis if he gets anything that's good for me, a landing spot or draft capital. Like I'm probably going to end up taking Willis. But I looked at that and I go, okay, what can I shop? Because there's a couple teams in a 14-teamer that need quarterbacks. And they clearly said, I need a quarterback. And obviously I'm not trading one of my quarterbacks, but at the same time, if they're smart, they're going to look at the 102 to go, okay, I'm not going to probably be able to acquire a quarterback cheaper than the coin flip that I'm going to get by having this 102 in my pocket once the draft goes down. So I shopped it. There was two teams that clearly said they need a quarterback. So I ended up trading the 102 and Irv Smith for Devontae Smith and Mike Evans. And I got back a third and Jamal Williams, who's just a throw-in running back. So basically two receivers that I think are probably fairly similar to what the trade you just offered Shane. Like Devontae Smith's probably worth the 103 to 106-ish, and Mike Evans is probably worth a mid to late first. So It's almost the same thing, but I agree with, I'd be looking for the same thing that Shane wanted was I want to get two receivers probably out of the trade. That was what I was looking for. I was not going to accept one receiver, like not one. If someone offered me obviously like AJ Brown or something like that, I would have probably considered it. But if it was just, hey, I'll throw you a Terry McLaurin or DJ Moore or someone like that not enough alone for me to move off of the 102. But I was looking for a specific deal. It had to be what you said, Clay, like 2 first-round pieces coming back to me.
I mean, at the 102, I might just sit tight and draft Kenneth Walker and then trade him away. Or maybe I'll hold on to him, but I sincerely doubt that. Well, and not anything with Kenneth Walker, really. It's just like, I don't know. Just that feels, like I said, all season, that feels super high for me for him. And if it was a stronger class, no way he would be sniffing the top 2 picks. There's a lot of people on a lot of podcasts telling you what you need to do and how you don't want to draft someone if you blah, blah, blah. You're going to be forced to do something you don't want to do. So whatever you dislike the least, that's going to be what I'm going to do probably.
Here's a good analogy. We already know that most likely the tier break at running back is going to be after the 102. And so you can examine, depending on your format, you can examine the teams that are in the mix to potentially trade with you if you have the 102. And you could kind of look at what do you think is going to happen with this draft. I think the one thing is, and we talked about it with the 101 too, is if you have a later first, you're going to get access to quarterbacks in this draft. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt. You're going to probably see, right now the over-under is 3.5 quarterbacks. So let's just say 4 quarterbacks go in the first round. Let's say Sam Howell doesn't go in the first round. I think everything I've seen, he's pretty much out of the first round. But let's say 4 guys go in the first. You're going to have access to those guys somewhere in the late first. Now, it's not going to be probably the one you want. It may be you just settling on one because, okay, he was a first-round pick. But when you look at that gap between just taking Malik Willis at 102 versus being able to get your wide receiver 1 plus the quarterback 4, that's where you can take advantage of essentially the fact that the tier is going to be gone at running back.